Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Positive EV podcast. My name is Fracus III, and my special guest today is all of you guys. You guys that are here listening right now. Yeah, you guys. I am hoping to discuss my current investments and updates on things that I've been doing, and also get questions from you guys about investing, be it from about myself or what my plans are, or any questions, things you want to know about investing. Feel free to ask me. You can, if you're in the Discord, you should be able to see at the bottom of podcasts. You should be able to pop your hand up, and feel free to come up and speak. Now, I will also be making sure I look at podcast chat, the text channel as well at the same time. I'll be bouncing between the two and trying to keep on top of everything. It is just myself this week. Unfortunately, Stino couldn't make this week, and I just thought I'd give an update for you guys. So, how is everyone today? Hope everyone's been doing well. Updates for me. Something that I brought up in episode 1 was, at the time, the shattered web case. So, how has that performed for me? What are my current expectations of it? And what am I going to do about it going forward? So, shattered web case. Something that a lot of investors have felt quite burnt by. That over its lifetime has its highest peak during after the operation was at $4.25 Australian on the Steam community market, currently trading for about $1.66, $1.70. I am still buying this. I'm still getting into the shattered web game. The fracture case, arguably for knives, is holding it back a little bit, but the actual skins in the case are really, really nice. The AK rat rod sitting at the purple tier, the restricted rarity. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Has been it's a great looking skin, in my opinion. It has some of the best. It has one of the best AWPs, in my opinion. Non-operation skins. So the AWP containment breach. I guess I'm a little bit biased. I have it myself. I've got a minimal wear stat track version at this point, but the unique knives, the skeleton knife and the paracord knife, to me are just absolutely prime. I overall really, really, really like the case. The blues are, I would argue that they're below average. Everything purple and up has nice levels of color, nice levels of detail. There's nothing that looks particularly terrible. Even the Mac 10, the Mac 10 Stalker looks fantastic. Nice yellow and blue highlights. So, for Shattered Web, I expect this to continue, well, not to continue, to really start performing well over the coming months to years. I would be looking at a 2-year time frame for something like this. My price targets, something people like to know, when do you want to sell? My price targets for this will probably be the $3 Australian mark on Steam Community Market. I've got about 60, 70 of them so far. Haven't got any massive positions in this yet, but it will slowly grow. I'm slowly putting in more and more every fortnight, so every 2 weeks into the market. So, what's something else? So, yes, Kamaz. Price conflicts may be in conflict with time targets. Yeah, Slizer is bringing up a very good point about selling at a price target or selling at a time. I'm in the fortunate position that I'm not forced to sell at a particular time. I can just sit and hold it. I'm not in need of the money, and so if it hasn't reached my price target by the time the time has come around, I'm not particularly holding anything special, any special amount of money in there that I need to worry about, because I've got it diversified through many different investments already. Buy stickers and capsules, scrape the stickers, and price go stonks. No, not quite. I don't think many people have the funds to purchase all of the RMR. I believe Fells, he has posted the amount of stickers that are being applied every month, and that number is absolutely insane. I could not, with the current capital that I have, I could not dedicate time to trying to use up all the stickers. Kamaz. So, Kamaz, you come across with a question regarding crypto. So, what do I think of the crypto coin Ethereum and crypto in general? I genuinely think that the world isn't ready for it yet. So, there are applications for it in terms of the contracts that you can write with it, the security that it can provide, but I just don't think the world as a whole is ready for it. There's going to be a niche market for crypto for quite a while, but I really don't think there's going to be much in the way of really widespread adoption, such as many like a first world nation taking it on as its currency. We did see Venezuela saying that they would start to accept Bitcoin due to their hyperinflation crisis, but that's not something I see for many countries going forward, accepting that as a standard. Just the community may drive it for a while, and it's going to take quite a few more years, I think, before the technology is there and lasts long enough for the everyday person to make use of it. Because no matter how enthusiastic you are about crypto and about its uses, once like 80% of the people in the world can use it and use it easily, efficiently, safely, and understand what it is, you're not gonna really get much in the way of much more in the way of adoption. It's in terms of investing, I see crypto as it's a non-productive asset, similar to buying what's a good example? Similar to buying CS:GO skins, similar to buying gold, similar to buying any collectible. It's a asset that you purchase that does not produce cash flow. The risk in the price of crypto is far more volatile, though, than in things such as Magic the Gathering, things such as skins, things such as gold or silver. All things that are non-productive as well, but don't quite... they have a bit more security and safety, being more of a physical thing than crypto. The majority of people still don't really trust computers. There's a lot of people out there who just don't trust them, and the people that trust them too much get burnt and just don't quite get there. the world isn't ready in general for widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies. It's a really, really, really cool, innovative concept, but not something that is going to really, really last until the world is ready. So something else that I will rant and rave on about for a little while here is Katowice 2015. People are jumping on Kato 2015 stickers. 2015 stickers from Katowice actually, to me, I don't think they look that bad. 2014 Katowice stickers are something that is likely we're not going to see anything like that again. No, nothing will. It's like the alpha set in Magic the Gathering. You're never going to get anything like it. It's always going to have a premium attached to it compared to everything else that exists and is going to exist in the Counter-Strike market. The next closest things you'll be looking at are weapon case 1s, Bravo cases, and even then they'd have to change the drop pool again to basically eliminate the rare pool, stopping them dropping altogether. So for me, Kato 15 is actually still quite a good buy. You can see, if you're looking at my inventory at the moment, you will see I do have a Titan Hollow and a Vox paper. In one of my storage units, I do also have some more Titan papers and some NIP papers. I still think that they're a fine buy. They've recently gone through a big spike. Now that spike has settled down and leveled out to about, I think it's about 30% to 40% higher than pre-spike. It's now getting to be a time to be a good buy. It's had its spike, it's consolidating, it's ready, it's waiting, ready to go for the next spike. So if you can slowly accumulate positions, don't try and buy like 50 Titan Hollows at once. That's just ridiculous. If you buy like one every 2 months or something, you're looking at getting good return. So Rage, one of our previous guests, is asking if I think it will drop more. I'm one that doesn't particularly like to predict the future. I will sit on an asset and go, what, am I trying to time the market, or am I trying to just be in the market in general? Because nothing's guaranteed. By December, they could spike more, they could drop more. I'm happy at this current price point to continue buying in. If it drops, buy another one, buy another two. It doesn't matter when they all, if it all of a sudden goes to $4,000, I'm happy that I got in at a much lower price point. So Rezel asks, I hope you're still listening, man. He was asking, when do I think Source 2 will come out, and if it'll change the market? Source 2, I have no idea when it's going to come out. I have no leads, nothing. I have no information on that. It could come out in a week. It could come out in 5 years. It could come out in 10 years. People will still be playing Counter-Strike by then. When it does come across, the engine may be able to even go to Source 3. Who knows? But will it change the market? Yes and no. Because the market will basically port over to Source 2 as all the skins get ported over from people's inventories into the Source 2 engine. They're going to work on a way. I can't see them not working on a way to find a way to save this, to continue preserving this market the way that it's going. The incredible volume that it has, the incredible amount of depth, the incredible prices and amount of money that they make if they wanted to convert the engine, they would be working on this basically for. They wouldn't drop it. They couldn't just drop this market. It's so big. It's almost getting to the point that it's too big to fail. But if they did put Source 2 out and not port the current market over, the market would shit the bed. Excuse my French. But if everything ports over successfully, people are going to go, oh, great, cool, it's ported over, looks better, easy. There'll be no change in prices. Maybe if it takes a while for people to actually convert over to Source 2 from their accounts, or if it just happens automatically, don't know. It's all speculation at that point. So moving on, Pomodorek, Mr. Tomato Man. Do I think that Broken Fang case has a chance to rise in the short term? Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's gonna rise in the short term. You've still got 400,000. You got 400,000 listings, and what am I looking at? At 80 cents Australian or below, you've got 10,000 listings. If we pull up Fels's information from Pro Investing, his numbers for July showed that Broken Fang 1.5 mil opened roughly in okay. I honestly don't know. It has definitely going to have potential long term. I think we're hitting the bottom. There's a point where people aren't going to want to sell these for any cheaper. You can see the trading volume on Steam as you hover across the graph. You'll see like 57,000 sold, 75,000 sold as it's petering down. But as it's petering down throughout July, the numbers have gone from 40, 50, 30,000 down to about 800, 500, 300 a day. Oh, that's within hours. The numbers just aren't sustaining. So July 7th, let's look at that. You're looking at maybe 5,000 selling for the day, which is very, very little. People are starting to say, I don't want to sell this for any cheaper. Absolutely A-okay with that. This case, I think, is hitting its bottom. It's hitting its price floor. Just from me, on what I'm looking at it, the volume's starting to decrease. I don't know if that's just me misreading the graphs, but people don't want to sell this case for any cheaper. I'm still good on buying this case. Short term for me is probably 3 to 6 months. Short term, it's probably not going to move much. Maybe go to about 80 to 85 cents Australian. Long term, I can see it hitting that $1.50 mark pretty comfortably. This is the Broken Fang case. No Pro. Thank you for coming and joining in. So where am I up to? Sorry guys, just flying solo here. It has a couple of interesting tidbits. This is, believe it or not, quite a difficult thing to do. A little peek behind the curtain here. It is really difficult to talk for an hour mostly by yourself. Does anyone actually want to come up and ask a question on voice? This is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you would like, you can raise your hand, and I will. I'll see what I can do. Community Capsule 2. So, Community Capsule 2. I just want to have a quick refresher on that. Community. which community capsule? There's only community sticker capsule 1. Oh, 2018? Oh, the one with the crown. Sticker capsule 2, you mean? Oh, so that's not the community one. That's just the second sticker case that they made. So with the crown, it's a rare drop. It is currently a rare drop. Unless we get more significant price action from the crown foil, I don't really predict that much is going to happen. The sticker capsule still gets dropped in game, and at the rate they're opened, it seems that supply is pretty well meeting demand. So they're just going to continue pottering along at this price, maybe slightly higher, just covering for inflation on that one. Speaking of something that meant that quite a few of you are aware of is that CS isn't my only investing avenue. One of the other things, I sound like an old man, I know I do when I talk about this, is I also invest in various stocks. I don't particularly chat in the stocks chat very much because what I'm purchasing doesn't require me to think about what I'm doing. I purchase mostly ETFs, so I'll basically invest in the S&P 500. I bet on America existing. Short term, sure, I can try and beat it, but nah, I'm not going to even bother putting in that amount of effort. There are people that can and do, very few people that can and do that over a course of 30 years, but that's not something that's for me. I'm happy just buying my stocks, letting them sit, collect my dividends, let them reinvest themselves, and just having a good time. The RMR capsule. So I'm actually quite big on the papers inside of them. The capsule itself, no. So the capsule itself, if I post the EV guide, if I go Command EV, so if we look at outsourced capsule EV guide, so you'll see that in RMR, so let's go down to best capsule EV, you'll see that RMR, Legends, challenge contenders and challengers are sitting around that 30 to 40% expected value. So when you're opening when if you open $100 worth, you're expected to lose $60 to $70 of your money at this point. The papers will have to move up, or the capsules are going to have to go down. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. Speaking of, seeing as we've got this open, a little segment that Steno started, and I'm going to continue here, is the capsule of the week. So this week's most positive EV capsule, that's not an autograph capsule. We exclude autograph capsules because the prices in those fluctuate massively from day to day. We're looking at the more stable, the larger competition stickers. This week's most positive, nearest to positive EV is Cologne 2016 Challengers Hollow Foil sticker capsule with an expected value of 92.74%. Wow. So let's have a look at what's in that sticker capsule. So, okay. Okay, so we're looking at Dignitas, Counter Logic, Liquid. There are some fantastic priced stickers in the hollow foil section. I can see why it's a 90% EV. Team Envious, the positive EV logo, that is all the way down the bottom, as expected, but that's okay. That's okay. We love them anyway here. So that is our little segment on the positive EV sticker capsule. Thank you for coming along to have a quick look at that. You can also check out the outsourced guide whenever you like. It will refresh and you will get updated prices on it. That Team Liquid capsule that's up there with 234% EV. Well, that's either a lucky buy or very, very, very not true. Okay, so where are we up to with that? Okay, goodness, we're already 25 minutes in. Seeing as we're hitting roughly that halfway point, if you guys want to go and check my Steam inventory, I currently have open, let me just do this. I currently have open my game, and I have a case for this week that people that I've asked some people and got them to vote on a case for this week's case opening. You'll see in my inventory there is an Operation Bravo case. It's episode 10, so figured we'd do something a little bit bigger than previous weeks, which has been like snakebite cases. We did do an esports case, but here we've got an Operation Bravo case. I am going to open this. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. There will be video of me opening this. Let's see what we get out of this. Would obviously love Stat Track Factory New Fire Serpent. Would be great for my green inventory, or the P90 Emerald Dragon. Both fantastic skins. Anything that's not a blue, basically. Don't give me a blue, and we're in the money. So let's open this up and see what we get. This is one of the most iconic cases in CS, as you would all know. Let's go. And oh, pink. No. Oh, a Stat Track Wave Spray in battle scarred condition. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a sad day. That's a sad day. So that's $7 Australian on the Steam market. At this point, let's sit and cry about that one for a minute. I'm lucky, but that's okay. It's for you guys. You guys can see me waste money instead of just wasting it yourselves. It seems to be better when I do it. People enjoy it more. So, further to my collectibles talk, I know I was mentioning collectibles before. I invest in another game, card game, called Magic the Gathering. If you were here for episode 1, you would be aware of that as well. So, what do I invest in there? I buy sealed booster boxes. So, in this card game, you buy packs. So, one pack has 15 cards in it, and a box will a normal box contains, I believe, 36 packs. That's for drafting, playing with your friends, occasionally get some good money cards out of it. There are individual cards that can go up into the hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in the older sets. So I buy cases and sit on them, or get them to sit in a closet for 5 years before selling. My updates on that are, I have been purchasing Modern Horizons 2. So that is a set that has come out. The initial boxes, how much were they? The boxes themselves were $280 each. I know this probably doesn't interest many of you, but it's something that I enjoy, so I'm going to talk about it. Sorry about your ears. So these boxes of Magic the Gathering cards are something that they're a set that I find has been absolutely incredible in terms of its power, in terms of its just its card quality. The old, if you know this game, uh, if you know this game, you know fetch lands. They've released retro older border fetch land, and oh my goodness, they look amazing. Let me get a picture of those up for you. Retro foil, let's say Scorpion Tarn. So, picture of this, just popping a link into chat now. I'll post this link in the description of YouTube as well. This card looks absolutely amazing in person. It's the images online do nothing to really showcase it properly. The older style with the brown borders, the foil star that you get that comes with it. It's a card that people play with and use. That's why I tend to value this over Pokemon. I very much value this over Pokemon. This is for those that don't know a little history on this card game. It was made by a gentleman called Richard Garfield. This game was first released, I believe the alpha set was released in 1994. This game is the first trading card game to have ever existed. There were trading cards that existed before, so people would collect baseball cards, people would collect basketball cards, hockey cards, but there was never really a game for them. You just sort of had them and looked at them and they were pretty. This is the first game that you could actually play. This is the first game that you could play with your cards, and it initially was passed around for free at conventions. Some people threw the cards away, regretting that now. But there is there is an absolutely massive market for these worldwide, especially in the older sets that Pokemon just doesn't seem to have. The problem that I personally find with other card games such as Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, is that if the card's actually unless it's this super rare version, it doesn't matter how good the card is. If it just looks cool and doesn't actually have any use, that's what makes the card go up in value. It's people aren't using these cards to play the game. People always say PSA 10 graded or BGS graded cards. They're the standard. That's not the case with Magic the Gathering. This is a case that this game is something that people pay money for the cards to be able to win tournaments for. That's why that retro foil is sitting at $130 each. You need 4 of them for a deck if you want to be using them to at their best. So that's $520 for 4 cards out of your 60 card deck. Like Pokemon decks range in maybe the $100 to $200 range. The decks that these are used for are worth insane amounts of money. There's a lot of people who pay high amounts of money for these cards. So I will continue to invest in them. There are people who've taught their kids how to play this game that are now becoming champions of this game. It's now a multi-generational success. It's something that has stood the test of time, and I believe will continue to. CS is another one of those things that I think has stood the test of time and will continue to stand the test of time. It's going to be great. If we look back in 10 years and CS is still cooking along, we're going to see that anything that we bought now, argued over, are we buying it this point or this point, doesn't matter. Everyone will have made money in the end. That's the good thing about investing. If you do it early, you get there in the end. You'll eventually hit a profit, as long as it's not something as long as you're not getting scammed by what you're investing in. So something that's happening off in the podcast chat is saying that Titan paper was at its lowest during December. So this is circling back to Rage, talking about the 2015 Katowice papers, or just Katowice stickers. We may not see much growth now, but for myself, I know it's different. The situation is different for everyone, and that's okay. But buying along, if you look, and if you bought it anywhere between the two spikes, you would have been happy. You would have made money. You're in a consolidation period between those two. You don't have to time the bottom of it to buy. That's a horrible way to lose money. Trying to time a market. Just anywhere, if you're buying anywhere along the consolidation period of these Titan papers across that basically almost 7 month gap, you would be happy with the prices that they're sitting at now. It's gone up. It's retraced. It hasn't retraced to the lows of before, but you can see at the start of the graph, this is something that happens a lot with the collectible market, just as a whole, that people that tend to not zoom out and notice. But you'll see that at the start of this graph, you had it consolidating, sitting under 20 euros. It has then spiked up to just over 100 euros, and as it's come back down, it's leveled out, sitting about that 40 euro mark, and then and then it has spiked again to 80 euro. But if you bought anywhere along that time period, as long as you got into the game, as you got into the market, absolutely perfectly fine to sit on that money and then watch it grow. Absolutely a-okay. So for reinvesting, if you're trying to flip, if you're trying to be the person that's timing all these markets, sure, a consolidation period's not necessarily the best time, but for those that are trying to just get money, they don't care about timing it. I say they don't care about timing it. They're not buying on a spike. They're buying when it's plateaued. People aren't really talking about Cato 15 as much. People aren't really that interested in the product at this stage. And that's 100% a-okay with me as an investor, because I don't want to buy what everyone's talking about. There's an old saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's currently trending sideways. Let me buy more while it's trending sideways. Then when it eventually pops up, I'm happy to sell into a spike. We'll see how high the spike goes, but anytime that you get these spikes, it's never going to retrace down to its old level. So you can see with the spike, the recent spike to 80 euros, you will see that it's come back down and it's currently hovering around 60 euros. I expect them to maybe dip down to 50, maybe, but I think now is a perfectly fine time to buy in. You don't need to try and maximize your percentage points when it comes to investing. You just need to get more money. So, is there any question in there? Sorry, Matt, I wasn't sure if there was a question in that, in those messages. Russell, what do I think about Luna's plan to 2024? It's a pretty risky balls to the wall plan, if you ask me. But I mean, he's just he's doing what every investor should, buying and holding. He buys something, He's committed to buying it. He doesn't care. He's just going to sit on it. That's absolutely fine. That's what I'm planning on doing. I've bought RMR papers really cheap. I'm going to continue holding those. I'm going to continue sitting on them. Absolutely A-okay. So, water break. I don't mind if he buys and sits on things for 4 years. That's what investing is meant to be. You buy something and you sit on it. Don't try and time all these peaks and dives. Why bother? It's so much work for, realistically, not as great of a gain as people think. So, the gloves, they may go up in general in future, but I do still think gloves themselves are underrated right now. So, I've got a bunch of glove cases. I haven't bought any clutch cases, but I have a bunch of broken fang cases. I have a bunch of glove cases. Not as much as quite a lot of people on this server. But, yeah, I'm still keeping my hand in... I'm keeping my hands and my money in a lot of different pots. But that's just me. I don't like to go all in on one thing because to me that's too risky. Now, I've got a question here from Tibet. So, what's my general opinion on 2020 RMR papers? So Tibet has 15,000 of them right now. Fantastic, great. Depending on what price you bought them at, great. I'm actually really big fan of RMR. So there is minimal downside risk to hold. There is almost no downside risk to holding RMR at this point. As an investor, this is what I like. It's something that people shit on. It's something that people are saying sucks. I like it because almost exclusively because of that. It's something. These are the cheapest stickers that we have seen in CS ever. So I have been buying them on buff for around 0.1. I've got thousands. I've got 5,000 RMR stickers or something like that at the moment, and I'm going to continue buying more because they're still just a great price. They are the cheapest stickers that you can actually get, and they look great. That's the thing. The RMR stickers don't look bad. Nobody really says that they look bad. They look good, and people apply them. How many games do you pop into, casual or if you're playing comp or on community servers, that people have just applied them to their guns? They've applied them to vanilla guns. They've applied them to 6-cent skins because they look good, and people are getting interested more and more in the sticker market because of something that is now super cheap and super accessible. They're not going to stay this cheap and accessible forever as people continue to test them and scrape them and get more. I'm going to continue buying them. Like, they're just a great source of money. That's in my opinion. You may very well disagree with my opinion, and that's okay. We're not all the same person. It's absolutely 100% a-okay. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed profit, but your downside risk is negligible. The stickers aren't going to get cheaper. What are you're buying it at pennies. You're buying at literal pennies. The risk of holding them is nearly zero, and in terms of an investment, that's one of the safest things you can look for. And it's one of the best indicators you can look for. Absolutely fantastic. Now, no, still no hands up. Okay, so Contra, you are asking, sir, my thoughts on the next major affecting the RMR stickers. So it really depends on what they do with this Stockhold major. So if they introduce the old way of pricing these at like $1.50 for capsules and like 25 cents for papers. If they bring back 25-cent papers, RMR is just going to basically get chewed up. It is going to get absolutely destroyed and brought right up because fuck, if they're literally like 2 or 3 cents, and you either have the option to buy you have the options to buy RMR papers, like you can buy 10 RMR papers or 1 Stockholm paper. We already know that people like RMR papers. We don't know if people are going to like Stockholm papers. If it goes to that old way, it's going to be an insane amount of money from RMR, and I'm very much going to enjoy that. Oh, so even if it follows, if it follows even, what's the one that is it Berlin? The one with the really really bad stickers. It does depend. If Valve do decide to keep this new way, so yeah, control. That's correct. So 2 scenarios which can blow up RMRs is if they return to the old way, because they brought RMR out to make money for the teams. So the organizations needed money to continue functioning because COVID absolutely obliterated all their potential for earnings because all the majors were cancelled. If for some reason Stockholm got cancelled, it's like the saving grace for Berlin. Berlin was saved by the fact that COVID cancelled everything. Those stickers went up. RMR stickers, if COVID somehow cancelled Stockholm, then those papers would absolutely go feral. I'm not talking like $1 a paper for like for Sparta or anything, but I could see them being 20 cents each, as people go, oh, I like this, I like the look of this, and apply it to all their guns because it's really cheap. The current chance of Stockholm being cancelled is very, very low. It may be moved to a different place, but we'll have to see how the government in that region acts with COVID and with there was an issue with Dota and classifying the esports players as professionals or not. So I really like RMR just in general. There's something really unique about it. There is lots that's really unique about it. It's either the first of something that Valve is going to do, or it's a it's a black swan event, or it's a once in a very long time event where people have bought and have applied these things mercilessly, and the people that stick it out and hold them are going to be very big winners. My papers, so the stickers that I'm holding right now, I have a big old mix of RMR papers. So I've got like Ninjas in Pajamas, the most applied sticker. I've got Virtus Pro papers, Spirits, because they just look amazing. I've got like 15 or 20 of the foils as well, because they're one of the most amazing looking stickers coming out of RMR. I have a few of the golds from NIP and Vitality. I have not very many phases, but it's mostly held up in the stickers that I've noticed that have been applied a lot more. I have got a bunch of Navis, but that's pretty much from an early buy order that I set when the Steam market pooped itself during the sale, at the start of the sale. When all the buy orders went down, I managed to get a buy order in at 3 cents that stuck, and I was very lucky on that one. Uh, Keeping a couple hundred RMR for souvenir purposes. Maybe send one to be opened in 5-10 years time. See how they go. See if they reach a couple dollars. Then who knows? We'll see. They're a historic piece that I have a feeling is going to be well worth it in the long run. The amount of people that use them, that's something that's astonished me playing this game. Just the sheer number of people you see. You can go into a game, and if you've applied them yourself, you can see a whole lobby of 10 people playing CS that have all got RMRs applied to their guns. And when you've got 600,000 people playing a day at the moment, this isn't even in peak times, 600,000 people playing, and most of them have RMR stickers on their guns. Well, sugar, that's a lot of stickers being used up. And as people chop and change them because they're so cheap, they will eventually get chewed up. Eventually, they're going to go, and they're not going to be as cheap as they are today. That's my thoughts on them. You don't have to agree with me. Something I said before. This is just what I like about it. This is something that you may disagree with, that you may think that the supply is so great that it's basically never going to get off the ground. But that's okay. It's okay if it never gets off the ground. The money could just sit there. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to sell. Yeah, breakout cases definitely. Breakout cases absolutely something that can prove it. 3 million breakouts in 2015. Yeah, I remember stories. People would just delete breakout cases. And this case is now $3 Australian. So from 3 cents, that's 100x of your money. Like, wow, that's an insane amount of money that people were just deleting, because eventually shit gets opened. Eventually shit gets used. It's gonna happen to RMR one day. It's just a matter of when. And with the capsules themselves, we saw the EV calculation before, sitting at around 30%. It's probably just going to sit there for a while. It'll slowly creep up to probably about 60% EV, 60, 70% EV, before the price of the capsules starts to move again. That's assuming that RMR papers make it go up before the capsule. There is every chance of the capsule just coming back down to make the EV closer together, but I just don't see that happening. Myself, I see RMR papers. Oh, sorry guys. I see RMR papers just going up to meet the EV expectation. The rubber band on them has been pulled down. It's just the rubber band's been pulled down, and it's slowly going to be let up. It got absolutely smashed, RMR. It's going to happen eventually, where price is going to return to where they were in the store before the sale hit, basically. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Remind me at episode 100 of what's happening from episode 10. So, yeah, I would love for this the new major to bring light to the market. It would be fantastic if people started pouring more money into CS again. Absolutely great. What's happening in China has definitely, just in crypto in general, not just China. I can't just blame China. Anything that's happening with crypto affects the collectible world, and not just CS, in ways that you guys may not have even seen. So in Magic the Gathering, for example, I'll use that as my other example. Is that's my main investment vehicle that has been affected by crypto. Uh, in 2017, when that last big spike, um, in that last big spike that happened in 2017 when Bitcoin reached 35,000, 40,000 or something before coming back down, Magic the Gathering cards went feral. You could sell to a store that's trying to make money off of this. So an underground sea, a land that was previously worth maybe $100, $200, you could sell them to a store who wanted to make money off of you for $1,000 each. You could sell them to a store for $1,000 a piece because people were selling their crypto and buying Magic cards with it because they just could. The money went feral in the market. The market then cooled off, and with this latest crypto hype, the market's gone and done it again. The stimulus checks from the US, the crypto having that massive big spike, people took their profits and set them into other assets. May not have been stocks, may have just been Magic the Gathering, may have been CS items. I wasn't around in 2017 to see what happened price-wise with what happened, but the CS isn't as exclusive of a market as you think. CS and Magic the Gathering are both they're both collectible classes that get heavily influenced by crypto, because as people make money with it and they want to park their money somewhere else because crypto's so volatile, buy some dual lands, buy a Bazaar of Baghdad, buy some Moxen, these cards that are worth $5,000-$10,000 at the moment. Like, it's just something that's going to continue to happen if crypto keeps going. People will take their profits and put them elsewhere. Collectibles are a great place to put money in general, in my opinion. People in loving communities, people will pay for nostalgia. As long as crypto keeps going, CS and Magic the Gathering, like investing, will continue to multiply their market caps and their values. Those people bought in to when it comes to for CS:GO, would it be wrong to say that? So a question from Tibet that I personally think is quite interesting is, would it be wrong to say that we're still in the beginning stages of the investing scene of CS:GO? In my opinion, we have probably gone past. We've passed the golden age of investing. Golden age of investing was when you managed to buy and hold from Cato 14, the beginning of Cato 15. The first operation cases, Bravo case, for example, the original weapon cases. That was the golden age of investing. That was the absolute best time to be buying cases. The silver age was probably until Danger Zone got released. So once Danger Zone came out, once you got free to play, people getting drops, that is probably when the silver age ended. We're probably in the bronze age now of investing, but we'll look back at this and go, oh, yes, great that we put money in. Great that we put money in now. We'll look back in 5 years, 10 years and go, oh, yes, great. The game's still going. People still play. It happens. we're in a transition period. We've probably gone through the initial transition period into the Bronze Age with free to play, with storage units being added. There has been a slight change. I don't know what's going to happen with now that they've removed a non-prime pool. We'll see what happens. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. The community love CSGO. Even if they hate the game, they love it. That's just something that is not gonna stop overnight. So I think that we've had a transition period at Danger Zone to a new model for investing. It's going to continue evolving, but those are the big milestones. The end of Operation Bravo, those initial weapon cases, those were the initial drops. Then Silver Age lasted up until Danger Zone got released, and we're currently in the third or the Bronze Age of investing, and we'll have to see where we go from here. We'll see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens. And on that, guys, I think we've had quite a successful little podcast. Thank you all for coming for episode 10 of the Positive EV podcast. I honestly, I am a little sad that no one wanted to come and have a chat up on stage, but that's okay. I host these typically once a week-ish. I normally have a special guest on. I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed being able to interact with me and ask me questions. There's always going to be more time to chat to me, especially when I'm doing these podcasts. Leave comments on my YouTube channel. Let's see if we can get some growth on there. I'll be uploading these to that. I may even start uploading these to Spotify as well. Share it around. Let's see if we can get some more interaction going with this podcast. Thank you all for coming along. I will be updating the schedule shortly. I have got someone famous, in the server coming and joining us for a podcast on the 14th. I have Nermal coming. Those of you that know, Nermal is an absolute legend who doesn't really often talk on the server, and he's coming to enjoy a podcast with me. I'm so excited, everyone. It's going to be awesome. Now, you all have a good day. Remember to like, share the video, subscribe. Hope you all enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Enjoy. Bye, guys.